coach?
Felt like that for the second half. I think my halftime speech, and he could probably speak to it, but there was some things that I didn't like from the jump, and while we managed to find our way and find our feet and get back in the ball game, which we've done all year, and have this struggle to fight back. There was some signs there that I wasn't happy with, but we were able to get it together, and we hung tough. And to know that, it's 59-0 at halftime, which is still high, but again, playing against a team that, while they can put points on the board, they also can shut teams down, and we were doing a very good job at that point in time.
Yeah, and also on top of that, obviously they threw different lineups at you, and you knew that was probably going to happen tonight. So was that something that you talked about prior to the game about?
No, I didn't. Well, before the game, didn't know. X wasn't playing, so X not playing in the game clearly changes their dynamics too. It did, but when I say it did, it's you expect him to play, and when he's not playing, which their game plan is a little different, and how you guard him and defend him is a little different. So that sort of shifted, and while players come in and out, him playing 30 minutes or whatever makes it a little difficult. But saying that, like every player that's on the floor, you got to adjust, and you play with what's in front of you, and clearly with the group that they got and the depth that they got, so no one talks about that and where they're sitting at. So Chase has done an amazing job with that group to get them to play that way, along with their staff, and again, winning helps, a lot of things, and building confidence within each other. So hats off to them for where they're at and what they've been able to do. But I'm happy for our fans. 6 sellout games in a row at home, to be able to play that way and finish the regular season off here on a high was positive.
And then you got the start tonight, obviously, along with Mitch McCarron. It was great to see that combination for the both of you. Did you feel like there was a bit of synergy there between you and Mitch out there on the floor at the start of the game? Because it certainly looked like you were catching fire with a few shots there early.
Oh, for sure. With me and Mitch, obviously, our lineups changed in practice. They changed all the time, but he's one of the guys that I look to. Obviously, he's the captain, but I think his energy makes us go. But also having another ball handler out there that's ready to get guys involved. Obviously, he looks for me, and I was a little bit more comfortable coming off ball screens and just trying to make plays tonight.
It looked like there was a moment there in that fourth quarter where maybe you had them in some ways, and that the margin was going to blow out a little bit, but then Cindy sort of reeled it back in. How did you keep the energy going so that you didn't drop your heads and keep rolling?
I try to talk about next play mentality. Obviously, we know they're a team. They're number one team for a reason. So we know they weren't going to give up. They're going to keep coming and keep playing the caliber of basketball they've been playing all year. But for us, I think, like Coach said, it's just building confidence. And if we're talking about in games, it's play by play, and knowing that everything isn't going to be great, but trying to make sure we're playing for each other as much as possible. And letting mistakes go and trying to correct it the next time. And I think that we did that. We stayed together, stayed resilient, and obviously pulled out the win.
Thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
How did you find it? And obviously throw you off your game too much to play against the old side.
I'll be completely honest. I've been getting asked about that since I got here, and while I can be completely honest, I've been downplaying it. I was looking forward to this game. Obviously, it's fun playing the number one seed. You want to beat them, obviously, and it's our last home game. But at the same time, I just like competing, and I know what I knew what they were going to bring, and they know what the type of player that I am and how I am in between those lines. So obviously, I'm glad we got the win at home. But it was a fun game, and I was excited to play.
CJ, obviously, fans will be thrilled with that, but at the same time, they're probably asking, how are we sort of in this spot rather than further up the ladder?
Well, again, how we played. We've been Jekyll and Hyde all year. You've seen it all season long. So how do you get there? How do you do it? Like managing bodies, temperament, expectations, playing ability, who's hot, who's not, who's willing to do the hard work. I mean, all those little things can come back, and it's the peaks and valleys of sport. And clearly putting it all together hasn't happened as many times as we'd like to have 16 to 17 wins, so we're not having that conversation. But right now, we're still in the hunt, we're still in the dogfight, and whatever happens is go win the next game. And so, as I said to them, enjoy this win, but I'm already moved on and preparing for Melbourne. In Melbourne, sellout crowd, Championship, no championship, that's a championship environment, as you know. If you know what they bring, you know what they're about, from Vickerman to Goulding to that organisation, what they've done over the last 8 years in this competition or more. It's just another great game to go and compete against, and it's always one game and staying in the moment.
And you across the complexities of the equation that might see you pull it off?
I know that Cairns is playing Perth right now. I don't know what the score is, and clearly I'm not here to go and look. I know someone will tell me at some point. If it's not my son, it'll be my wife or someone, and I'm not the one to go and watch that game. I've got nothing to do with neither team right now. My job is Melbourne, but I'm sure that I'll get an update, and once I do, and then once it all lands where it lands, it'll be, this is what we're doing. This is. Do we have to go? We have to go for a number. Do we have to go do something spectacular? Do we have to go beat Golden State and go out there? And a guy who used to play with Golden State, so I just say, we need to go be that team to go and go put 50 on the board. And as you see, I got guys that can shoot a ball. And yes, I've given KG more reign over the last few games, and his ability to impact games for us has been good, and he's done that at practice and again showcasing. As everyone has. DJ was efficient, and having guys be able to do that, stretch the floor and shoot a ball. He can turn a corner, he can get in, AC can turn a corner, they always can shoot threes. Everyone's playing confidence. Our three-point line is a little higher than what it's been, in the middle of the year, which you want to play good basketball at this time of the year to have a shot to go and be in the playoffs or to make the playoffs. And we can only control what we control.
Much bigger picture, is the way forward next season clear to you now, or will you need to drill down into that a bit more in the off-season?
There's a lot of things that have been made clear, from before RC got here. There was things that were in play and things that were going on that I'm not going to speak to at any point to our fans or whatever, of how you deal with different things and how you put things in place and how you. Again, I've played on many teams, and it's not about my titles and what I did. It's like there's things that have to happen, and certain things as an organisation and what you can do and what we need to do just to have things in place.
Do you think that the club-wide review holds any fears?
No. Not for me. I got the blessing and the backing of the club, and my job is I came here to win. Last year I came in and took over a team 2 weeks beforehand in front of all you guys. And while whoever stands in front of you, everyone expects to win. I didn't expect Isaac to be injured when I got here. This is what happens, right? Is that my fault? Is that as a coach, or is that, how do you deal with that? I played with 2 imports last year. This year I got to put a team together. You're here, you're excited. You saw our team, you're talking about it the same way everyone else is. We got to go to the States. I took that team to the US. That team was able to do something special that no NBL club has done. And while it was all around the globe, everyone was talking about it. I felt good about what I put together, was able to come back to try and compete for a title. We're still in the hunt, very slim chance, but we're still in the hunt. And while it's been a rocky road from that win on, my job was to put the team together to go and get them to play well. This is a group that, 7 guys I put in here. And it's putting it together to make sure that, like everyone, we want to win. I want this club to be successful. I didn't come here to sit before you to be going out the back door. I know that when it comes success, there comes people that want to tear you down, and vice versa. When when you're down, there's people that want to keep you down, and others want to pick you up. I'm not here to listen to anyone and everyone. I don't get on social media, as I've said many times over, but I love this sport. I love our fans. I love what I do. I love to bring everyone together. I care. I care for every player. I care for this organisation. I care for basketball in general, the NBL and where it's gone, and every player that's playing in the game. I care for their families. That's not wrong of me, but I need to get this right. Yes, I do. And I look forward to, first, our game in Melbourne.
Is there any small part of you that wishes you hadn't beaten the Suns just because it really set up really high up?
Well, it did, but someone's got to do it, and to be that team to go and do it, and how we played and we did it. I think there was a lot of things that were in place there that we haven't still gone back to in our group, and while we do it every once in a while, we don't do that at a high level. But that's on me. So I'm not here throwing that anywhere. That's on me to make sure that moves forward and we continue to grow as humans, learn from it and move forward.
Personnel-wise, are we looking at tinkering in the off-season or reworking?
Not here to talk about next year. I'm just here to talk about what we're doing right now. And right now, as I said, Melbourne's where I'm at. We can have that chat later. As of right now, I need to stay focused on my task.
What about this guy? Would you like to see him suit up again?
I love this guy. This guy's great. I mean, he's come in, like I said, from the time that we got on the phone and spoke. What I heard before I even spoke to him, that he's the realest guy. He's all that and some, right? He's a leader. He leads by example, playing hurt, playing injured, to how he carries himself, to the utmost respect. Like, I play with winners all across and seeing how you lead and do things. And Chase will say this, I'm sure he said the exact same thing, right? Like, when you got a winner in the building who can lead an organisation, that can play the way he plays, it's definitely a blessing, and that's what he is.
And what about you, Ian? Have you seen enough of the organisation in Adelaide to want to stay a bit longer?
Focus on Melbourne.
There you go.
I see you. I see what you're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
I see what you're doing.
You see
But
it.
I mean, to be completely honest, I love it. I love the fans. I love Coach. I love the way that we can communicate and he can coach me, because I love being coached. I love being corrected because I want to get better. I don't look at it as any negative, but what we have been able to build the last couple games, I'm pretty sure everybody can see that. And so, but right now, our focus is on Melbourne, and we'll focus on the off-season when the off-season comes.
You got one of the doors.
CJ, you touched on a little bit, but do you think it's going to have to be pretty strategic on Sunday against Melbourne? Where, in terms of, you don't just need to get the win, you need to absolutely roll them, and you need to probably play a pretty helter-skelter offensive game, and it could be a blessing for you guys that they can just come out with just chance their arm and have a crack.
Yeah, I think we don't know yet, but having that in the background, and I've been a part of a team that's done that and put some points on the board at a high level in Brisbane, and where you probably thought that you can't get in the playoffs, and we got in on the last game by just doing that. So I'd like to think that we got the firepower to be able to do something like that and play that brand of basketball. But yeah, there's a very good chance.
Thanks, CJ. For what it's worth, Kansas up 30-16 at